Hi everybody, this is Scott with Homebrewers Outpost and homebrewers.com. A lot of people ask us at the shop how we like to start a siphon. So in this video I'm going to give you a little demonstration of how I like to prime a siphon. First thing you want to remember when you're siphoning is don't suck. We've gone to a lot of trouble to sanitize this equipment, and when you put a siphon tube in your mouth, you're going to defeat the whole purpose. So this is the procedure I like to use. I've got my sanitized rack and cane and tubing. What I'm going to do is take this, I've got the bowl of sanitizer that I reserved before. I'm going to go ahead and take the rack and cane tip, I'm going to put that into the bowl. I'm going to take the other end of the tubing and put that up to my sink over here. Then I'm going to turn the water on. Hold the tubing up to it until water starts flowing through. I can see it filling up right now. Next, I'm going to go ahead and lower that tubing below the level of my bowl here, and the siphon's going to start to flow. Now I've got sanitizing solution flowing through, and I've got a good prime siphon going here. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my thumb over the end of it so that the flow is stopped. Before I move over, I'm going to go ahead and bring a little bit of that sanitizing solution back up on the rack and cane just to make sure it's still clean. I can go ahead and splash some more onto the tubing here. All the time my thumb is over the end, so I've got liquid all the way through this. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and lift this out of the sanitizing solution. The water's still in there. I can move it any place as long as I've got a good hold on the end of the tube here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take this primed rack and cane assembly. I'm going to go ahead and move this over to my primary fermenter. I'm going to put that into the primary fermenter. I'm going to go ahead and lower this, and I've got a little cup over here that I'm going to release the flow of the siphon. The sanitized solution is going to flow into the cup. When the beer starts to come through, I'm going to go ahead and put my thumb over it again and move it over into the bottling bucket. I'm going to move over to my fermenting bucket over here. Be careful, you don't want to lose this siphon right now because I do like to use sanitizing solution in here. If you're using bleach or some other or some other sanitizer that requires rinsing, I would just prime your siphon with water. But in this case, it's star sand, and I'm not going to mind if a little bit of the star sand gets into the beer. So I'm going to move this siphon into my beer here. I'm going to put it about into the middle here, not all the way down. I don't want to disturb the yeast that's settled to the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and lower this. Once you've lowered the siphon below the level of your bucket, it's okay to release the flow because the beer is going to flow out instead of back down into the beer. So I'm going to go ahead and let my thumb go. You'll see the beer start coming through. Once the beer is in, you can see kind of a golden mixture up here, and it's all gone here. I'm going to go ahead and move this mixture down into my bottling bucket here. As you're siphoning this mixture, you want to try to siphon gently. You don't want to splash a lot. Oxygen is the enemy of beer at this stage. Oxygen will cause oxidation, which can give a cardboard flavor to your beer. So siphon gently if you can. Here's a view of the beer coming out of the primary fermenter. You can probably see around the side we've got some yeast and hop residue on the sides of the bucket. That's natural. That's a natural byproduct of a good healthy fermentation. And we're going to try to leave as much of that stuff behind in the bucket as we can. As we get close to the bottom of the bucket, go ahead and tilt the bucket up onto a phone book or a block of wood, something just to tilt the mixture. That's going to allow me to suck up as much beer as possible without sucking up very much of the sediment that we're going to see at the bottom in a minute. It's too bad you can't smell this on the internet. This is a pale ale, so I can really smell the hops coming through. And I can just start to see the yeast layer down at the bottom. So I'm going to move this a little bit. Again, I want to keep sucking up beer, but once I start to pick up some yeast, I'm going to go ahead and pull this rack and cane out. Okay, that's good. I siphoned the beer mixture on top of my priming sugar solution, which should have completely dissolved the sugar into the beer. As an additional step, you might want to take your sanitized racking cane and go ahead and stir it gently to get that priming sugar mixture completely mixed up in there. Sometimes it's possible if you were to just dump the priming sugar mixture in, that mixture might not completely dissolve into the beer. So the beer you bottled to begin with might not have enough sugar. The beer towards the end might have too much sugar, so you'll wind up with undercarbonated beers and overcarbonated beers. So a combination of adding the priming sugar mixture first and then the beer on top, in addition to gently stirring before you start to bottle, should make sure you get uniform carbonation.